To speak a little bit about Ahriman, Satan, Lucifer. Pick whatever title you want for this evil entity, regressive. And again, we've already spoke about that this is not everything comes from source. This isn't a biblical teaching. This is illuminated knowledge, and this information is what has been hidden from society. So let's pick up where we left off from the book Illuminati Hidden Agenda. There are many names for this evil spark of consciousness that left Mother. Ahriman is one of the many names that he has. Many ancient scriptures or texts speak about this evil spirit. All these scriptures were written with a twisted agenda, so it was written with half-truths to blind and control humanity. It is hard to decipher the truth by examining these ancient texts, but we will go through what the ascended masters are telling us about reality. So let's pause there. There's many. Let's go with the Bible, or pick your flavor of religion. And they have, and if you go and you examine these scriptures, these books, and then you compare it to where the information that you get from higher densities, it seems like everyone has a sliver of truth. And it's like, oh, it's so interesting. So if you're able to take these slivers from all these different groups, you come up with the truth. But it's been compartmentalized within these different groups, with each group being consisting of 95% false. A small portion of it is truth. So it's pretty, and then you pin all the groups against each other. It is done to perfection from a group who's been doing this for millions of years. You don't even know. The society doesn't even know that they are blinded and under control. Let's go a little bit further. Ahriman was the first of many negative sparks of consciousness to come from Mother. He was the first, and that buildup of energy in that initial burst made him strong. He was pushed far from source. I understand he was pushed down to the sixth density. This rejection from Mother made him resent Mother for abandoning him. He hated Mother for doing what she did. He was alone, but once other smaller negative sparks of consciousness started manifesting with him in the sixth density, he started his vision of family. It's interesting how that is. These smaller negative sparks of consciousness were coming from Mother. She cleaned herself of all this fear and sent it down, and Ahriman accepted these fallen angels. Remember, these names are all for the same consciousness: devil, Ahriman, Lucifer, etc. These other smaller sparks from Mother were separated and had their independent thoughts. So, as we mentioned earlier, everything comes from source, from the light. Everything. So this title that we're saying archangel and demons and Lucifer is just for the sake of us understanding. And the same thing with densities. Earlier in the book we've discussed there is no such thing as densities, but we're trying to understand this higher knowledge and put it into a human brain where it's easier with the indoctrinations, easier for us to understand and dissect. So again, we're talking here specifically about Ahriman or Satan. So we're speaking about the separation of these regressive entities, and we already spoke about why and how this happened. It was this feeling of emotion, of fear, of sadness that Mother was feeling, and she wanted to get rid of that energy. And by doing so, that thought manifested into independent thinking, negative energies, because it was born from negative. But it's still And again, this portion, I already mentioned this earlier, but this portion, what I'm about to say, is my opinion. And everybody can have their own opinion about this, but I feel that it was part of the plan to have duality. So that way the ones going through involution, the the ones separating slowly from source would have a contrast and have the experience as they get further and further from source, have something to, for lack of a better term, dirty them. What is it like to take a shower if you've never been dirty? You're a high density being. You don't know what it is to be sweating, working out in the fields all day, and then to take a bath and feel clean. Imagine you'd never have taken a bath because you've never been dirty. So I know it's hard to really put in, but again, this is why I think it happened this way. And let's how long is this next paragraph? Let's go through this next paragraph. This evil group of fallen angels are dark ones, all hated source and mother for this abandonment. They all represented the opposite of what source represents. Source is light and love, so this group wanted to hate and shed darkness through the universe. This group of evil spirits has many names such as asuras and archons. The archangels were still learning and going through their process of involution down from higher densities. So when the asuras were thrown down to the sixth density, they skipped the archangels in the involution process. I have not been enlightened as to where the archangels were in the process when the asuras were thrown down. However, the archangels didn't have a very powerful positive energy that was created by mother and father, and many call this energy Michael. Now, the universe had evil and good, Lucifer and Michael, as the opposing sides in this battle. So you take it for what it's worth. Was it an accident? I can't go with that. But if you want to feel that it was an accident, by all means. But at the end of the day, now we had ones that left source because of this, again, the feeling, this emotion gave birth, far separation to lower densities. You had ones leaving source slowly, sparks of their consciousness was, I need to draw this out on a board. Maybe I'll do that if I get a chance. So that way it'll be easier to understand. But just bear with the explanation. And so now you have ones that are in higher densities, not in a physical form, but remember the lower in density. And again, there's no such thing as density because it's a huge oscillation. Everything exists together. Again, that's something else we need to probably put on a board. But just for the sake of understanding, so we have ones that are lowering in densities, and then you have ones that left the high density and went really low, wanted to leave as far away, separate from source as far away because they felt this rejection. But now everything needs to return to source. So again, there's no such thing. Everything comes from the light. There's no such thing as this, oh, this is an evil entity. It's always going to be evil. No, it's just playing a role. And everything in the universe is coming. The objective is to evolve and return to source. It's very difficult for people to accept this. And I get it. But this is what is said over and over from higher planes. Okay, so, but yeah, so let's leave it there. You can find this at sourcehypnotherapyhealing.com. Go there, completely free. Click on book and feel free to read further. And much love to everyone. And I'm gonna try to make some more videos specifically with not reading directly from the book, but trying to give a breakdown of the whole chapter. All right, much love, Star Seeds.